One of the most anticipated banners of the year, A Hero Rises, is finally here. Will this banner be the best banner of the year? That is the question, so let's find out. So in round 1 we had Winter Alear versus Attuned Peony, and Attuned Peony pulled it out yet again. Oh my gosh, somehow Alear has found a way to lose every single voting gauntlet she's been in, which is just insane because Winter Alear is an extremely good unit, and Summer Alear last year was a very good unit as well, so I just don't know how she keeps losing, but for somehow she does. The second matchup was extremely close. It came down to the same at the last hour. I was on Team Dimitri, and Team Dimitri has vanquished the snake. Finally, Goldvig is dead, and Dimitri is the second unit on the banner, which is just so good. In our third matchup, now this one's a little bit more questionable, we had Camilla versus Claude. Now this matchup didn't matter as much because they're both green, so when it came to the green dream, either one works. But I'll be honest, I was definitely pulling for Camilla, but unfortunately Claude pulled it out, so we do have Claude on the banner as well. And then the final matchup, which also helped with the green dream, is Alear versus Sonic. And to be honest, Sonic is definitely the better unit, but Alear is green, so I was definitely kind of pulling for her, and Alear pulled it out as well. That's right, we have a green dream yet again in the Hero Rises. We had 1 year off last year where we had like a pseudo red dream, but this year we've actually got it. We got the green dream. So let's go ahead and jump in. We'll analyze each of the heroes, talk about their fodder, their power levels, what game modes they're good in, then we'll go over the statistics of the banner, and then finally we'll go over should you pull. Yeah, let's start off with Peony herself, and when it comes to Peony, she overall is one of the best dancers in the game. This is partly due to her preference dance, and also because of her weapon, and she's melee, which means she has the ability to inherit a ton of skills. And when it really comes to Peony, what the best thing about her really is the fodder. While she herself only comes with like Rock Slide Dance 3 and like Cross Burst Speed and her Echo skill, which are all good fodder, what really makes her so great is that she's a flying melee unit, which means that she can duplicate an absolutely absurd amount of skills. Stuff like No Quarter, like Snap, like Sword Guidance, like you name it, she can duplicate it. And so having a duplication factory on a Hero Rises is so much value, especially when we talk about the rates. So Peony is an absolute godsend. When it comes to game modes, she's a dancer, so she can pretty much be used in every single game mode. I personally like to see her in Ether Raid's offense as she's a really good support for those fast Omni tanks. Our second unit is Winter Dimitri, and I was so scared he was not going to make it, but Winter Dimitri is just a powerhouse unit. First of all, when it comes to just how powerful he is, he's one of the best Omni tanks in the game currently, and that's because he works with Vantage. Being able to use Vantage in the current meta is just so powerful as it lets you just get past combat. So when you run into all those deadly nukes, you don't actually have to fight them, you just kill them before they even get a chance to hit you, which is great. When it comes to roles, he really fulfills that nuke, tank, and Vantage role. And when it comes to game modes, he's really good in Ether Raid's offense. I think he's amazing there. And he's very good in Summer Duels on those Cavline teams alongside units like Wind and Dagger or like Tiara. But the big thing too is that he is amazing fodder. Winter Dimitri is some of the best fodder in the entire game. Attack Speed Prime 4 is one of the best distant counter skills in the entire game if you need speed. He also comes with No Quarter, which is one of the most pivotal specials in the current meta because you need damage reduction piercing on your Omni tanks and your melee DPS to secure kills, and he offers that. So having that on the banner is so good, especially because you could take that fodder and then give it to Peony to duplicate. So big win with Winter Dimitri making it in. Up next, we have Win Claude, and Win Claude honestly has fallen off quite a bit. He's really not the nuke he was like last year, even like 6 months ago, but he's still a very good unit. He just doesn't fit into as many game modes as he used to. He used to be one of the best Ether Raid's defense units alongside Hinoka, but the introduction of like Winter Violet and also like Valentine's Myrrh has really shut down a lot of like the flying lines, so he's not that strong there. And when it comes to Summer Duels as well, he is good there, but definitely not as amazing as he once was. But when it comes to fodder, he does have some great stuff. He also has Attack Speed Prime, which is really great, Attack Speed Oath, and Lethality. Overall, pretty good fodder, but I won't lie, I think Claude is probably the dud of the banner, if there is a dud at all. And then the final unit on the banner is going to be Legendary Female Alear. And once again, Female Alear is one of the best Omni tanks in the current meta. Right now, she's only really less powerful than like, let's say, Desert Altina, and now her male self who did Power Creeper just recently, like a couple days ago. So that is something to consider as well. When it comes to her roles, she's like a really powerful tank and nuke, and she does offer that DR piercing support as well. And when it comes to game modes, she's very strong in Arena and Ether Raid's offense, and can be used as a raid boss in Summer Duels. Finally, when it comes to fodder, she has some excellent fodder. She essentially comes with like an Omni tank kit just on herself. So if you have an Omni tank you want to build, you can essentially just give that entire kit of attack speed to finish 4 and CD and pledge to them, and they're pretty much going to work. You just throw a distant counter steal on them and you're pretty much done. So overall, very solid unit and some amazing fodder as well. Okay, but let's talk about the thing that we all really care about the most, statistics. That's right, we're going to be talking about how good this banner actually is. The fact that we hit the green dream means that we are getting absolutely absurd rates for 5 stars on this banner. The average orbs to pull any 5 star on this banner is 33 orbs. That's right. If you hit that 50th percentile, every 33 orbs, you're going to be getting a 5 star. That's 3 5 stars every 100 orbs. It's actually absurd. And if you don't believe me, go check out my old summoning session when we did hit the last green dream, where I got over 28 5 stars. It was insane. But now let's look at the specific rates for 5 stars because it is a bit different. So if you're looking for like a specific unit only on this banner, the rates are actually a little bit worse. In a Hero Rises, you'll be spending 119 orbs for a specific 5 star, but on the normal banner, you'll be spending 110. Now, in the case of Legendary Alear, it actually is a bit better as she is on that Legendary banner, which typically costs more orbs, about 128 orbs on average for an Alear. So you are saving some orbs if you're trying to plus 10 Alear. The thing is you have to remember though, is that while you will be spending a bit more orbs to get a specific green 5 star, you'll be getting 5 stars along the way because the rates are so good. So when it comes to rates on this banner is actually just absurd, and definitely you're going to get a ton of value if you invest a lot of orbs into it. Now obviously I just want to put out a disclaimer, these are all averages and just statistics. Sometimes you will just get screwed and not get exactly what you want, or you won't get as many 5 stars as like possibly projected. That is something you have to consider, but overall the math is definitely in your favor. Okay, let's move on to the final part of the video, should you pool? Okay, so when it comes to the pros on this banner, there are a ton, and one of the ones I want to talk about the most is skill duplication with Attuned Peony. Now why this is such a big deal is because we actually just got the reveal of the new codes, and the new codes are absurd. We got like almost every fodder you could possibly want in those codes, and the fact that you could take that fodder and then put it onto Peony to duplicate is insane. You can get soaring guidance, you can get guidance, you can get no quarter, you can get attack speed prime, all from those codes, and then duplicate it with all the Peonies you get from this banner. So that is something you definitely should consider and look into. Speaking of fodder, Dimitri and Alear bring some amazing fodder into this banner, and so you can use all that fodder to duplicate, and it just gets really absurd really quickly. And so honestly, that's a great reason to pull as well. You also have to remember we get 4 sparks on this banner, and it's a really big deal because it guarantees you value, which also adds to the amazing rates. So when you're getting all those crazy amounts of 5 stars, every time you hit a spark, you're getting an additional free 5 star, which is a big deal. Also, these sparks aren't always available to all players, right? Some of these sparks are only available to Fade Pass players, so being able to spark units like Alear and Claude, and now Dimitri again, is a big deal as they're not going to be available in future reruns, unless you have Fade Pass. You also get some really amazing heroes here, you get absurd summoning rates, and of course, if you need a legendary hero to help score better in Arena, we also have Alear to help with that as well. Now when it comes to cons, there are a few. Legendary Female Alear has definitely fallen off a little bit, and we just got Male Alear who did just Power Creeper, so that is something to consider. We also have a big Mythic and Legendary banner at the end of this month. We have the Spring banner coming up soon, and we'll have new heroes coming out this month as well. So when it comes to the question, should you pull? Honestly, I think this banner is worth pulling on at least the 1 spark. You're going to get a few 5 stars probably along the way, and you'll get a guarantee of 1 spark, which means you can choose any 4 of these amazing heroes and get absolute value out of it. And because Dimitri and Peony are in the codes as well, it means that you can easily merge them up, or you can use like the Peony manual to refresh the Peony fodder, which is a big deal at getting your skill bank going. So overall, I think this banner is a very good pool. Now, it's not necessarily amazing for everyone. If you're trying to plus 10 a specific unit on this banner, it can be a bit rough. So if you are going for that, I would be a bit more apprehensive and maybe see when their next rerun is before going all in here. Personally, I'll be going either to 2 or 3 sparks in, probably going to try to get as many copies of Peony and Dimitri as I can, and then pick up anything else along the way. The only real unit I don't really care about on this banner is Claude, but the other 3 are all pretty amazing, and I wouldn't mind merging them up to plus 10 if the cost in orbs isn't too bad. But now I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of this banner? Are you as excited as I am that we actually hit the green dream, or are you sad because one of the other units lost and you really wanted to see them on this banner? Either way, I'd love to hear about, so drop a comment down below letting me know how you feel about this voting gauntlet. As always, I'd like to thank all my members for their constant support. This has been Oblivion. I'll catch you all later with more of the Green Dream.